Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had the power to say something, to react, or to respond, but instead, you chose silence? At first glance, ignoring someone may seem like a form of weakness or avoidance. After all, society often encourages open communication, quick resolutions, and the idea that silence is golden only when it's intentional and strategic. However, there's another perspective to consider, one that views ignoring someone not as a sign of fragility, but rather as a demonstration of emotional resilience and strength. The truth is, ignoring someone can sometimes be a subtle yet profound way to protect your peace, set boundaries, and even regain control in situations where words might only fuel the fire. In our increasingly fast-paced world, where emotions run high and tensions are often just beneath the surface, it's easy to get caught up in the urge to react. We've all been there. Someone says something hurtful or frustrating, and the immediate response is to fire back, to defend our position, or to explain ourselves. But here's the thing. What if not reacting is actually the more powerful choice? What if silence, in some cases, speaks louder than words ever could? At first glance, ignoring someone may seem like an act of avoidance, a way to dodge conflict or responsibility. But that's only one way to look at it. When you ignore someone, you're choosing not to engage in the drama, the negativity, or the toxic energy that they're bringing into your life. It's a way of telling yourself, I don't need to entertain this. And that, my friend, is an incredibly empowering mindset. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you gotten caught up in a back-and-forth argument, only to realize later that it was a waste of time? How many times have you felt emotionally drained after an interaction that, in retrospect, didn't really deserve your attention? Sometimes, silence is the only thing that can preserve your energy and protect your well-being. When you choose to ignore someone, you're not just avoiding a conversation. You're actively choosing peace. You're saying, I won't let your words or actions dictate my emotional state. Ignoring someone, in this sense, can be a form of emotional maturity. It's easy to react impulsively, especially when we feel insulted, hurt, or misunderstood. But what does reacting often lead to? More hurt feelings, more misunderstandings, and possibly more conflict. By ignoring someone, you allow yourself the space to process your emotions without getting caught up in a back and forth that may not lead anywhere constructive. But here's where the strength comes in. Ignoring someone doesn't always mean avoiding confrontation. It means choosing to wait until you're in a place where you can respond with calmness and clarity. It's about not giving in to the temptation of instant gratification that comes with firing off a response in the heat of the moment. And that, I believe, is a reflection of inner strength. It takes a strong person to resist the urge to react in the moment, to pause, and to make the conscious decision to address the issue when they're in a better emotional state. In fact, when you ignore someone in situations where emotional reactions could spiral out of control, you are in many ways gaining power over the situation. You're not allowing another person to dictate how you feel, how you act, or how you respond. In that moment of silence, you're the one in control. You're taking a step back, refusing to be pulled into a vortex of negativity. And that's a huge accomplishment. How many times have we let our emotions control us, leading us to say things we don't mean or engage in drama that we regret later? But it's not just about avoiding negativity. Ignoring someone can also be a protective measure for your mental and emotional health. Not all relationships, whether personal or professional, are healthy or beneficial. Some people may consistently drain your energy, manipulate your emotions, or create unnecessary chaos in your life. In these cases, ignoring them can be an important boundary-setting tool. It's your way of telling them, I don't have to entertain this. I deserve better than this treatment. By ignoring someone, you're refusing to feed into a toxic dynamic. You're choosing yourself over the negative behavior of others. It's not about being petty or immature. It's about knowing your worth and understanding when a relationship is no longer serving you. Sometimes, ignoring someone is the best way to send a clear message that their behavior is unacceptable. There's also the idea that ignoring someone can give both parties time to cool off and think things through. How often have you been in a heated conversation where everything you said felt like it was only escalating the tension? Sometimes, stepping away from the situation and ignoring the immediate need to respond can create the space necessary for reflection. Both you and the other person may have time to reconsider your positions, to reflect on the words that were said, and ultimately come to a resolution that's more constructive than the one you would have reached in the heat of the moment. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring people forever or using silence as a weapon. It's important to recognize the difference between choosing silence as a form of self-care and using it to manipulate or punish others. In healthy relationships, communication is key. Ignoring someone indefinitely can lead to further hurt feelings and unresolved issues. But when done with intention and when used to create space for emotional processing, ignoring someone can be a powerful tool for strengthening your emotional boundaries. Have you ever noticed how some of the strongest individuals you know are also the ones who know when to walk away from an argument, when to pause before responding, and when to simply remain silent? It's not that they don't care about the issue or the person. It's that they understand the power of preserving their peace. They know that not every battle is worth fighting, and that not every comment deserves a response. In a world that constantly demands engagement, reaction, and validation, it takes strength to choose silence. It's not easy, and it's certainly not always the most satisfying in the moment, but it can be the most empowering decision in the long run. By ignoring someone, you're essentially saying, I don't need your approval, or your negativity to define my worth or my peace of mind. When was the last time you ignored someone for the right reasons? Think about how that decision may have impacted your emotional state. Could it have been a healthier choice than reacting in a way that would have only left you feeling more upset or drained? Maybe ignoring someone in that moment helped you preserve your inner strength, and maybe, just maybe, that small act of restraint was the most powerful thing you could have done. There's a quote I love that says, "Not every battle is worth fighting." It's a reminder that sometimes the strongest response is no response at all. Ignoring someone isn't about weakness or avoidance. It's about knowing when to engage and when to protect yourself. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose where and how to invest your energy. So, the next time someone tries to provoke you, insult you, or drag you into an unnecessary argument, ask yourself this: what would it look like to simply not engage? What would it feel like to walk away from the situation and preserve your peace? You might just find that ignoring someone is not only a sign of strength, it's also one of the most powerful choices you can make for your own well-being.